welcome to Furious Driving. And as you can probably tell, I'm out in Quentin, the Rover 200 convertible. I've just been doing a quick run to the sorting office to go and collect any parcels and post that might be coming in for junk in the trunk, the post bag section of the show, which we do once a month. If you want to be part of that, then as I did, an address in the description below, PO Box 477, Aylesford. Then some other bits, I can't remember offhand, but yeah, that's the address. It's down in the description. Post stuff in, it's fun, we like it. Right, why am I out in Quentin today? Well, because out of the 11 vehicles I have access to, this is the only one that works. This, the car that was £100, destined for scrap, everyone thought was a no-go, never gonna run, dead waste of time, and is actually for sale, is my only working car. So I'm selling my only fully working car. That's not genius. Okay, never mind, that's the Furious lifestyle. Right, so let's have a quick recap of where everything has gone wrong in my life. Now that's going to take too long. Let's have a quick recap of why my cars are all broken. Okay, first of all, we've got two long-term projects which we can't really count as actually running cars that have broken down. They're just not quite there yet. First of all, the W123, which I have to admit I've dragged my feet over because it lives outside under a cover and you can't really be pulling a cover on and off when it's wet, when it's snowing. And that's not good for a car. The weather's improving and I'm hoping to get that car under cover before too long. Then I can actually get on with doing some work on it. Well, now the weather's improved, I can start getting on with some work on it. Let's be honest, I just need to find some time. Then that will be a nice car to drive around in. It does actually run at last, doesn't stop, has got holes in it, but we're there. Then we've got the V8 Rover, which is an ongoing saga, which I need to do the next update on for you very soon. That has been an adventure. It has been a bit of a challenge because I've been kind of learning how to build a V8 as you go. I've never built a V8 before. They're fairly simple, but at the same time, plenty enough to go wrong and bankrupt yourself with broken parts, so you don't want to be doing that stuff. And then what else we got? Oh, other projects which haven't run yet are of course the Sinclair C5. Basically, I'm still waiting on the battery. I think I've been robbed. Basically, I think I have spent 50 or 60 pounds, whatever it was, on a battery for that thing on some spurious online website, and nothing has ever turned up. And I'm now starting to think it never will. So I'm going to have to go and buy another one. Because obviously I can't run the electric car without an electric battery. So that's not a good situation. Then what else have we got that is not running at the moment? Well, there's my daily Mercedes, the car that does all the donkey work, the hard living, not hard living, that means it's enjoying yourself too much, the hard working estate car that goes to work every day, does the heavy lifting, puts in the big miles. Well, when I got that car, it had I'm guessing an original Mercedes battery in it still. It certainly said Mercedes on the label, so it's either 10 years old or 5 years old as the second battery in the car when it finally died last year. So it did pretty well. Luckily I had a second-hand battery for it, so I whacked that in and saved myself a good chunk of money. The thing is though, that's now given up as well. It'll start up and you can take it on a longish journey, that's no problem at all. But if you do a short start-stop, then there's nothing left in the battery to restart it afterwards. So a day like today, which is nipping down the road, making a couple of pit stops along the way, which I'm not sticking on camera because it's boring for you, you don't want to see my life in every detail, that would potentially leave me stranded with a flat battery. I've had to jump start it 3 times and it did put the engine warning light on after one of those occasions, so I'm trying to avoid jump starting it for the moment. That does need a new battery fairly quickly. What else have we got? Well, the Alfa Romeo, you saw the Alfa 145 die yesterday. That was not good. That's awaiting repair, so as soon as we get that done, that too can be working again. What else have I got in the garage? Rover 2000. Changed the engine mounts on the Rover 2000, but I haven't really used it at all since then because the steering box still needs adjusting. It's normal turning left, but very heavy turning right, and I kind of don't feel happy driving it until I've checked that out a bit more, and I just haven't had time to get around to doing anything with that yet. So yeah, that car Although technically it runs, I don't want to use it for, you know, just caution really. Now, what else have we got? Oh, the Mini. The Mini does technically work. In fact, we're driving past that garage in a minute, so we'll call in and have a look. Now we have the Mini. Pop this bonnet up. Now, it is actually dry under the plastic sheet, and insulation I've dumped into the ceiling of this garage now. I have left the battery disconnected. It's an old RAC one, which is not the worst battery in the world, but it is pretty ancient. It was in the car when I bought it about 4 years ago. Didn't look at its first flush of youth then either. So, if I unlock it, central locking works. But will it go without a jump start? No. So it sucked so much power out of the car, it's even killed the internal LED light, which is a low draw thing. So this car is another member of the Dead Battery Club. Maybe if I take it and recharge it, it might get another summer's use out of it, but this car is basically in need of yet another battery. How many batteries do I need for cars? Right, so I whipped the battery out so I can take that home, stick it on charge, maybe give it a chance at running, and have another working car on the fleet. I've got to say, I do absolutely love driving this car. I know it's kind of rare and early and special, so I don't try and use it too much, but it is just an absolute hoot to drive. These Minis are just so good. They feel really solid, much bigger than a small car, but they are, and just good. Everything about them is good. In fact, maybe what I'll do is once this month ticks over, I'll bring this car home, park it outside, bring the convertible back in here so I don't get the convertible roof covered in much more bird muck. That might be a thing to do. Also, this car turns 20 in about a week's time. We should probably do something for that. Mini Cooper review, anyone? So yeah, more battery rows with that one. And the Volvo, the big Swedish tank, the brick-shaped chunk of Scandinavian steel. Well, it has got an issue. Not going to say what it is now because I'm going to do a video about trying to fix that. Let's build some tension here. But yeah, that car currently can't get off the drive. So we have a problem with that one. I think that's all of them. Hang on, let me have a quick count up. P6, P6, Alpha, Mercedes, Mini, Volvo. I've forgotten what. Oh yeah, the Tomcat, I think, works. That is parked up under a cover at a friend's place because I've run out of space and it's on sawn. I have disconnected the battery and the battery was new and good when I parked it, so I'm assuming the battery is still good. Apart from a minor oil leak, which all T-Series seem to have, that car did seem to be running well. So maybe I've got two cars that work and they're both Rover R8s. That's not how the world is meant to work, is it? So it turns out that my global fleet, well, globalish, well, European fleet of cars, of many decades, Rover R8s are in fact the best cars in the world. There's something you didn't expect to be a takeaway from this video. I've actually forgotten if I've missed any cars out there. Oh, technically my wife's Mini, but that's not my car and she uses that and I'm not allowed to mess around with it, so we don't really count that one. And so, incredibly, against all sense or reason, the only car I've got that I can actually use legally and trust on the road is the £100 clunker I was planning on selling. In fact, it will be selling very shortly. This, unfortunately, is the kind of ammunition my wife loves. When I say, well, we've got so many cars, we've always got something to drive, and then suddenly we haven't. Which means I've got to fix everything all at once. Never mind, I better go and get some fixing done, hadn't I? Oh well, you can always trust a Rover R8. There's always Quentin. Thanks for watching, and join me tomorrow with some actual fixing some of these things.